Walt Harrison, Jerry Seltzer here at the track. Oakland Coliseum Arena. It's a championship round game. The Bay Area Bombers and the Chiefs moving into the second period of play now. The lineup for the Chiefs: number 41, Lloyd Turpin. Sam People out with an injury. Joe Perez, 43. Larry Lee, 44. Mike Gammon, 45. John Early, 47. Bob Woodberry, number 48. And Bill Groll, 49. We'll give you the Bomber lineup in just a moment. Right now they have Bob Dansell and Tony Roman both out on the jam and in pursuit. Number 43, Joe Perez. Perez goes by Tony Roman and puts him down. Now he's chasing Bob Dansell. He goes by Dansell. Joe Perez out to get the Chiefs the lead here. Pouring it on. Tony Roman, the rear of the pack, caught there with a block thrown by Bill Groll now. And here comes Joe Perez. And Tony Roman in trouble. Bill Groll blocking. Here comes Joe Perez. He's going to score. He does. And he cuts off the jam. Bob Woodberry a block there on Dansell just as that jam ended. So a quick point in there. Bill Groll blocking on Tony Roman. Joe Perez picking up the point. The Chiefs lead 6-5. Now the Bay Bomber lineup. Alvin Mallory is out with an injury. They have Chris Rowe, 32. Bob Dansell, 34. Pete Boyd, 36. Tony Roman, 37. Jim Cook, 38. Gil Orozco, 39. And Charlie O'Connell, number 40. And here we go with the second jam here in the second period of play. 6-5, the Chiefs on top. Bombers get the first jammer out again. Jim Cook, 38. He doesn't usually jam. With Alvin Mallory out, I guess he's going to have to jam. Chris Rowe is out with him on the jam. Larry Lee, 44, in pursuit here for the Chiefs. And Mike Gammon, 45, also out. Larry Lee down. Gammon trips going over the top. That kills the Chiefs' threat on this play. Now they have no jammers out. Both men back in the pack. So Jim Cook, 38, Chris Rowe, 32, moving for the Bombers. Charlie O'Connell, Gil Orozco, the blockers out there. Big Pete Boyd wearing the pivot helmet. Bill Groll back there to block once again. The rugged Bill Groll, number 49. There's his block on Cook and a block on Rowe. Another block on Cook by Bill Groll. Bob Woodberry back there in case Bill needs any help. He doesn't usually need any help. Woodberry back there now. Woodberry blocking, grabs a couple of heads. Slams him into the track. And he draws a penalty. And there will be a point in there. Possibly two for the Bombers, although it's only one penalty. So Bob Woodberry in his first big play for the Chiefs ends up in the penalty box with Bill Groll looking at him, and Woodberry separating his arms wants to know what happened. It is 2 points. He is holding both Bomber jammers. There's Charlie O'Connell. He doesn't like the tactics of Bob Woodberry. He protested the fact that Woodberry was able to join this club in time for this championship round game. He didn't feel that enough time had gone by. So the score now, after those 2 points, the Bombers 7, the Chiefs 6, and Bob Woodberry's in the penalty box. And I wonder if that's a sign of things to come, Jerry.
Well, I don't think Bill Grohl is going to permit that. And I imagine he's going to let him have his head the first couple of jams. And right after that, he'll put him in. Because the Chiefs are a speedy club. That's been the pattern in this game so far. It's a great amount of speed, and I don't think he's going to allow anything to stop that.
So here we go with another jam. And again, it's the Bombers. Bob Dansell out first, and Gil Orozco controlling the head of the pack with help from Tony Roman. Now Charlie O'Connell up there, and the Chiefs with 4 men on the track cannot get a man out on this jam. The Bombers have 5 men out there. In trouble at the rear of the pack. Blocked by Roman on John Early, and he's passed for a point by Bob Dansell. Tony Roman with a jammer's helmet on is not scoring. He is strictly a blocker. He did not get out on the play. On the rail, Bill Groll put Dansell up there. He recovers. He's back trying to score again. Here come the Chief jammers. But the jam was cut off by Dansell before they could get up there. So the Bombers get 1 point. The Chiefs fail to score. And the Bombers now lead 8-6. Here is 7:18 to go in the second period of play. Remember, I'll have an interview at the end of the half. And don't forget, your Chiefs open at home against the same Bay Area Bomber team.
Tell you one thing, Walt, very evident out there. Why the Chiefs have been the world champions the last several seasons. On that play, it looked like there was a chance for a big scoring play by the Bombers, but the Chief jammers keep coming. And there's just that one opportunity for the Bombers to pick up a point before they could recover after that fine block by Bill Groll. The Chief blocker, Joe Perez, or jammer rather, was right up there. There's no chance for the Bombers to make a big play out of it.
Bill Groll now has Woodberry back in the track, and guess what? He's put the jammer's helmet on Bob Woodberry, who's getting a whip now from Lloyd Turpin. And Woodberry is out of there. Jim Cook, 38, in pursuit for the Bay Area Bombers. Bob Woodberry is known as Big Bad Bob. Let's see. Good move in there by Woodberry. Cook put a little too much into that block, and Bob Woodberry skating by himself now for the Chiefs. Let's see what happens. Charlie O'Connell back to the block. That's why the crowd is roaring. They love to see O'Connell and Woodberry tangle. We're going to see it right now. Bob Woodberry, the new member of the Chiefs, number 48. Hit with a block by Charlie O'Connell. He's down and he's up and he's moving again. O'Connell back there. Again, there goes the helmet. Woodberry is up. Here comes Chris Rowe in the jam for the Bombers. O'Connell shoved ahead by Woodberry and blocked by Bill Groll. Woodberry dumps Chris Rowe. He goes by O'Connell, who'd been hit by Bill Groll. Woodberry has one. O'Connell is still down at the other end. Moving on to pack now. Pete Boyd, a knee block in there by Bill Groll. Woodberry on the inside gets 2 more, maybe 3 more. Bill Groll and Woodberry go to work on O'Connell. They have him on the rail. Roscoe trying to get in to help O'Connell. He's trying to fight back. You can't hit a man when he's behind you. He's clobbering O'Connell. Pete Boyd trying to get in there to pull Woodberry off. Fisher's having a tough time doing the job. O'Connell sinks to his knees in the infield. Pete Boyd trying to get it. Bill Groll now. They really worked Charlie O'Connell over. I tell you, when these two clubs get together, there's tempers on both sides. That play gives the Chiefs the lead, 10-8 over the Bombers. They can't help it, Jerry. When these two clubs get together, boy, they both let loose.
Well, I'll tell you something. This is exploding right in the first half, and of course, the viewers are going to see this complete game. You wonder what's going to happen.
This is the championship round game. O'Connell hurting. Jerry Menez, the trainer, walking with him. O'Connell going to the infield. He's testing his leg in there. He's back on the track. Bombers already have 5 skaters out there. O'Connell stays out. They got 6. Jim Cook's going to the infield. O'Connell's back there. Charlie O, number 40, limping as he moves around that track. Out on the jam is Joe Perez, number 43, moving here for the Chiefs. He's being chased by Bob Dansell, 34, so each team has a jammer out on the play. Woodberry drew the penalty for that attack on O'Connell. It's his second penalty here in a second period of play. Block in there by Dansell and Perez, who stays on his skates, and both men really moving in a block by Perez on Dansell. They're both moving on the pack. Pete Boyd in there, 36 with the block on Perez. Bill Grow with the block on Bob Dansell. Pete Boyd rocking Joe Perez, another block in there. There's Bill Groll up ahead, hammering blocks into Bob Dansell of the Bombers. Pete Boyd almost eliminated Perez, but not quite. He still has to worry about him. He can't move up. There's a leg block. Now he can move on Bill Grow as Woodberry comes out of the penalty box. Pete Boyd runs into his own man as Bill Grow got out of the way. Dansell moving again. Woodberry waiting for the pack to catch up with him. Perez hammered by Pete Boyd, but Dansell was decked by Bill Grow. Man, these clubs are really going at it here in the second period. This game really just underway. No score on that jam, but what a battle we had. 10-8, the score remains. The Chiefs lead the Bombers with 3:10 to go here in the second period of play. Man, these clubs really going at it, Jerry. I don't know if they can keep this up for the whole game.
It's fantastic, Walt. You know, if our fans would like to get a free copy of the rules or put their name on the mailing list to receive special advance information on upcoming games in their area, they can write to either the rules or the mailing list. Post Office Box 1828, Oakland, California 94604. Please include your city and the station on which you watch these games every week. Walt, Charlie O'Connell seemed to have a bad Charlie horse, no pun intended, and he had to work it out, and I think he did by putting on a jammer's helmet.
I tell you, that shows the importance of the championship round game. Mike Gammon's on the jam, and Big Charlie O is on the loose. Can he catch Gammon before Gammon catches the pack? That's what's important here. They're blocking in there, Chief blocking. They have points, and cut off by Mike Gammon after scoring in there. 2 Chief points on the play. And they now lead the Bombers 12-8. O'Connell could not get up there in time. I tell you, Mike Gammon is a real speed burner. But Charlie O'Connell with those long strides can really eat up the track too. Well, but he couldn't get up there that time.
He sure couldn't, and I guess even if you don't agree with the Chiefs' strategy, you'd have to say it's effective because they forced O'Connell to come out of that pack. And when they do that, they take a lot of blocking out there. Of course, you got Pete Boyd back there, but Charlie is primarily a defensive man.
He still has that jammer's helmet on. Will it be Tony and Charlie? It's going to be Charlie O'Connell and Tony Roman on this jam. Bob Woodberry's going to jam for the Chiefs too. There's O'Connell. He's out of there. He's looking back. Who's it going to be? It's Woodberry. O'Connell's waiting for him. Knee block in there. O'Connell after Woodberry. This is a revenge battle on this jam. Woodberry spins into the rail and goes down on the deck. O'Connell is going to go back in the pack and let Tony Roman move now with Mike Gammon jamming for the second time in a row here for the Chiefs. Oconnell wants Woodberry. He's got him at the rear of the pack now. At the rear of the pack, Oconnell and Woodberry. There are the jammers. There's Woodberry. There's Oconnell. There's Tony Roman. Mike Gammon was put down by Roman. They're moving on Woodberry now. Charlie Oconnell, number 40, leading the charge with Tony Roman, 37. Here's the whip. Right to the legs of Woodberry. That's one of the troubles when you're tall like Woodberry. He spread his legs so he could cover more track, giving Mike Gammon less room, but he found room between, and he went for the point. And the Bombers have 9 and the Chiefs have 12 now. 44 seconds to go here in the second period of play in the first half. The Bomber is down, and I think it's Roman. Trainer picking him up with the help of Bill Morrissey, one of the officials. The other official is Hugh Kendall. Trainer is Jerry Menez.
After that jam, Mike Gammon slid into Tony Roman, and I think Tony was kind of sitting there hoping the officials would call a penalty. Mike Gammon has had an interesting season. Last half of the season, Walt, his point average has only been 5 or 6 a game, but I'd say that has more to do with the fact that the Chiefs are scoring better as a whole, and they don't have the load quite so much on him.
And the Bombers have Chris Rowe out on the jam. Roscoe caught way behind the pack, gave the whip to Chris Rowe then. Time runs out. Time ran out before they could get up there. And there's Woodberry throwing Chris Rowe over the rail at the other end before he goes to the infield. He drew a penalty. That'll be his third penalty here in the second period of play. That would be 3 minutes in penalties. It happened after the period over, so there will be no penalty. There will be a fine levied on Bob Woodberry instead. So he'll have to pay for that effort. Bill Groll talking to him now, trying to work this man into their lineup. If they can, man, he will be effective if he can skate the Chiefs' way. But the question is, can they control this man? Well, the score here at the end of the second period of play is the Bay Area Bombers 9 and the Chiefs 12.